Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai So we are going to read from the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. So there is a verse in the Madhya Leela of the Chaitanya Charitamrita, where Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is actually instructing Srila Rupa Goswami in the 19th chapter. So I have also taken a verse from the Anta Leela, which is similar to what we are going to discuss, or the section which we are going to read now. So please recite after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So this is in the discussion between Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Srila Sanatana Goswami from the Anta Leela, chapter 4, 70-71, which is having a similar theme or topic to what we are going to read now. These paragraphs about the chanting and now avoiding the offenses. So please recite after me. भजनेर मध्ये श्रेष्ठ नवविधा भक्ति कृष्ण प्रेम कृष्ण दीते धरे महाशक्ति तारमध्ये सर्वश्रेष्ठ नाम संकीर्तन निरपराध नाम लैला पाये प्रेमधन. So I'll just read Srila Prabhupada's translation here as it is. Among the ways of executing devotional service, the 9 prescribed methods are the best, for these processes have great potency to deliver Krishna and ecstatic love for him. Of the 9 processes of devotional service, the most important is to always chant the holy name of the Lord. If one does so, avoiding the 10 kinds of offenses, one very easily obtains the most valuable love of Godhead. So this is being elaborated in the section which we are going to read. So can we just read? This is these few paragraphs from the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, the Golden Avatar, and the chapter number 1, which is teachings to Rupa Goswami. And here Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, Lord Chaitanya pointed out to Rupa Goswami that there was a certain danger to be encountered while watering the root of the devotional plant. After the plant has grown some bit, an animal may come and either eat or destroy it. When the green leaves of a plant are taken by some animal, when the green leaves of a plant are taken by some animal, the plant generally dies. The most dangerous animal is considered a mad elephant. For if a mad elephant enters into a garden, it causes tremendous damage to plants and trees. An offense to a pure devotee of the Lord is called Vaishnava Aparadh, the mad elephant offense. In the discharge of devotional service, an offense to the feet of a pure devotee can create havoc. Thus, one has to defend the plant of bhakti by tending it properly and taking care not to commit offenses. If one is cautious, the plant can properly thrive. There are 10 principal offenses which can be committed against the holy name. The first is to blaspheme the great devotees who have tried to spread the glories of the holy name throughout the world. The holy name of Krishna is non-different from Krishna, and one who attempts to spread the holy names throughout the world is beloved of him. Krishna himself does not tolerate offenses against his pure devotees. The second offense is to deny that Lord Krishna is the absolute truth. There is no difference between his name, quality, form, pastime, and activities. And one who sees a difference is considered an offender. The Lord is supreme and no one is equal to or greater than him. Consequently, if one thinks that the Lord's names are non-different from the names of demigods, he offends. The Supreme Lord and the demigod should never be considered on the same level. The third offense is to consider the bona fide spiritual master to be a common man. The fourth offense is to blaspheme Vedic literatures and authorized scriptures like the Puranas. The fifth offense is to consider glories attributed to the holy name to be exaggerations. The sixth offense is to concoct perverted theories about the holy name. The seventh offense is to commit sinful activities on the strength of the chanting of the holy name. It is understood that by chanting the holy name, one is free from sinful reactions. But this does not mean that one should act sinfully on the strength of chanting. That is the greatest offense. The eighth offense is to consider the religious rituals, austerity, sacrifices, or other forms of renunciation are equal to chanting of the holy name. Chanting the holy name is as good as associating with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Pious activities are only means to approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and they can be even performed for some material reason. The ninth offense is to preach the glories of the holy name of God to a faithless person who is not interested in hearing them. The tenth and last offense is to maintain material attachment even after hearing and chanting the holy names of God. The idea is that by chanting the holy name without offense, one can obtain elevation to the liberated platform. On the liberated platform, one is freed from all material attachment. Thus, if one chants the holy names and still has material attachments, he must be committing some offense. Hare Krishna. We'll just recite prayers. We'll recite full prayers or? Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratushe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpa Tarubhesha Kripa Sindhu Devacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Hukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Gayate Yat Kripatam Hum Vande Shri Guru. Hare Krishna. So I would like to thank Harshit Prabhu, Harshit, what's his surname? Harshit Sonar Prabhuji for giving me this opportunity to glorify or speak about Krishna Katha and to talk about the name. And I'm also very thankful to all of you for out of your busy schedules, you are taking out time daily and trying to hear and discuss these topics. Although this topic is very vast and it's very high topic, but still I will try to discuss whatever I heard, I have understood in my so many years of in Krishna consciousness. There is a nice verse in the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, which I always recite before giving any class, just to remind myself. A Vidura is asking many nice questions to Maitri Muni, and Maitri Muni is telling him, Tathapi kirti yami anga, yathamati yathashrutam. Kirtim hare swam satkartum, giram anyabhidhasatim. He is telling, Tathapi, although I am not qualified. Why is using although? Although I am not qualified to speak Krishna Katha, I am still speaking it. How? Yathamati yathashrutam. I am going to speak it Yathamati, as far as my intelligence, my understanding, my realization goes, and Yathashrutam, whatever I heard in the Parampara. And Kirtim Haren Swam Sat Kartum. I am going to speak. The purpose of speaking Krishna Katha is Swam Sat Kartum. It is only for my own purification. And if I don't use the power of my speech for in this way, then what is going to happen? Giram Anyabhidhasatim. My gira, my power of speech is going to become asatim. Sati means the chest, and asati means one who is not chaste. So the tongue is supposed to chant the glories of the Lord and His holy name and His devotees. But if I don't use that, then actually it is the not proper use of it. It will become unchaste. So although Maitreya Muni is speaking out of his humility, real humility, I'm just trying to remind myself of the fact that, these topics I'm not speaking for anything else but my own purification, and maybe as a little service to all of us, if that is the way it can happen. So we are reading from these teachings of Lord Chaitanya. So I'll just the topic here we have been discussing about the chanting of the holy name and the avoiding the 10 offenses in the chanting of the holy name. So I'll just briefly speak about the background and what Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is talking about this process and the precautions to be taken for a sadhaka while we are engaged in chanting and hearing and in the activities of Krishna consciousness. So Srila Prabhupada in the very beginning explains that the teachings of Lord Chaitanya and the teachings of Lord Sri Krishna, they are non-different. Teachings of Lord Chaitanya, actually they are the practical demonstrations of whatever has been taught by Lord Sri Krishna. Lord Sri Krishna and Lord Chaitanya are non-different. Lord Krishna gave us the Bhagavad Gita instructions, but still we people, Kali Yuga people, we are not able to even understand or follow them. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes himself, Krishna comes himself to teach us by his practical behavior, how to chant the holy names, how to engage in Krishna service, how to deal with the devotees, how to avoid the offenses, like that. So Srila Prabhupada explains that Lord Krishna demands surrender, Sarvadharman Pratijat, the one verse summary of the Bhagavad Gita, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, according to the Acharyas, he also is giving us these 5 things. There it says, Aradhya Bhagavan Vrajeshatanyas Tadhama Vrindavanam Ramya Kachita Upasana Vrajavadu Vargena Vakat Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanamamlam Prema Pumarto Mahad Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhur Matamidam Tatradarana Para. So here in this verse, it is being explained that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is teaching the same teachings of Lord Sri Krishna and is emphasizing on these 5 points. What are those 5 points? Aradhya Bhagavan Vrajeshatanyas. The one who is the Vraja Isha, Nanda Maharaj, his Tanya, his son, his Aradhana, Aradhya Bhagavan Vrajeshatanya. So the worship of Lord Sri Krishna, surrender to Lord Sri Krishna, chanting the holy name of Lord Sri Krishna is the first point. And Tadhama Vrindavanam, and the abode of Lord Sri Krishna, that is Vrindavan, that is also worshipable. That's the second point Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling. And Ramya Kachita Upasana Vrajavadu. What is the best kind of upasana, or who are the highest kind of devotees even in the hierarchy, is those are the Vrajavadus or the gopis of Vrindavan. And among the gopis of Vrindavan, Srimati Radharani is the highest. She is the devotional service personified, the selfless service personified. So that is the third thing. We have to follow in their footsteps. That is our aspiration. Gopi Bhartur Padakamalyor Das Das Anudas. And what is the fourth thing? Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amlam. We accept Srimad Bhagavatam as the Pramanam Amlam, in the proof. We don't have to accept anything else. Maybe there may be contradictions here, there, but we have to accept whatever the stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam, because Srimad Bhagavatam is Pramanam Amalam, is a spotless Purana. There is nothing but the pure devotional service, Krishna and his pure devotees and their activities. These have been described. And what is the last thing? Prema Pumarto Mahan. Achieving the Krishna Prema, that should be the highest goal. Although there is in the Vedas, Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha has been prescribed, what is the Bhakti is the Pancham Purusharth. Achieving Krishna Prema, every day we recite, right? What is that we recite at the end of the 10 offenses which we recite? Every devotee who considers to be, every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must carefully guard against the 10 offenses in order to achieve Krishna Prem. So that is our goal, that should be our aspiration also. So the teachings of Lord Krishna and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they are non-different. And although Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave only 8 verses directly, Shikshashtakam, which take also from a sadhaka, Vaidhi sadhana bhakti to bhava bhakti to the prema bhakti, especially last 3 verses that they speak, especially Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu empowered and gave us many things through his followers, especially the 6 Goswamis. And among the 6 Goswamis, who is the chief? Srila Rupa Goswami, right? And we are called as Rupanugas. So it is our very great fortune that we have come under the umbrella of ISKCON, and we are taking shelter of Srila Prabhupada, who has taken shelter of the 6 Goswamis. He stayed at Radha Damodar temple, and he was really cleaning the courtyard, Samadhi Mandir, and Bhajan Kutir of Srila Rupa Goswami was begging for his mercy before going to the US. And that's how, we are very fortunate. And it is said in Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 19th chapter, where Rupa Goswami is being instructed by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at Dashashwamedh Ghat in Prayag, which we are reading from the first chapter of the teachings of Lord Chaitanya, that just like Brahmaji in the beginning of the creation, he is being empowered by whom? Lord Sri Krishna. Tene Brahma Rudaya Adi Kavaye. Like that. So similarly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu empowered Srila Rupa Goswami at this Dashashwamedh Ghat, 10 days. It is said he personally entered the heart of Srila Rupa Goswami and explained him all these principles about the devotional service, and also instructed him to write about these scriptural writings, so that all of us, we can get benefited from it and we can follow the bhakti very nicely. So there it is said, all the bhakti tattva, rasa tattva, all these things has been very nicely explained, and to Srila Rupa Goswami is being empowered. And here you must have read in the previous paragraphs that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is explaining that although the ocean, the devotional service is like a great ocean, and it is very difficult to measure the length and breadth and the depth of this devotional service, what I am going to do is I am just going to explain you a drop of it, so that you can understand, you can realize it, and you can explain it to the others, like that. And therefore, during our prayers also we say, Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale. These are the prayers for whom? This is Rupa Goswami's Pranati mantras we are saying, right? Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale. Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. So that Srila Rupa Goswami, Manobhishtam, what is there in the heart of the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that his desire, Prithivite Achet Nagaradigram Sarvatra Pracharo Evam Varanam. So that he is actually establishing on this Bhutale by writing all the scriptures, these scriptures, especially when we study Bhakti Shastri, then we study two books by Srila Rupa Goswami. What are those? Nectar of Devotion and Nectar of Instruction, right? Like that. So that's how Srila Rupa Goswami has been empowered, and here also is again empowering, and that's the section we are reading. So in this section, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling, although the verse is not quoted, it is paraphrased, Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavana Jeev Guru Krishna Prasade Paye Bhakti Lata Bish. It is by very great fortune that a Jiva who is wandering throughout the universe, right, he receives a Bhakti Lata Bij from a spiritual master. So actually it is the great mercy of the spiritual master that he is giving us a seed. Srila Prabhupada is all our, whether we are initiated or not initiated, Srila Prabhupada is our preeminent Shiksha Guru, right, for all time to come. So by mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we have received the seed of devotional service. And now, what is the responsibility of the one who is received the seed of devotional service? What is the responsibility of the disciple? Like in Vedic culture, it always talks about the responsibility. Modern culture talks about what? Freedom and what is my right, right? But Vedic culture talks about responsibility. There is a responsibility of the spiritual master, and there is a responsibility of the disciple. There is a responsibility of the husband and responsibility of the wife also. Responsibility of the teacher and responsibility of the student also. Like that, it is our Vedic culture. So now what we are reading is especially about the responsibility of the disciple, or the one who is receiving the seed, all of us in short, right? And that there it is being said, the responsibility of the receiver is to carefully chant and hear, right? That is compared to the watering, that seed which we are given. If we carefully hear Krishna Katha and chant the holy name of Krishna, then it is as good as watering that seed, and then the seed will germinate, sprout, and the plant will come out, Bhakti Lata will come out. And like that, if you go on continuing hearing and chanting, then it will go, the plant will grow, it will go out of this material universe, it will penetrate Brahma Jyoti, and it will go where? Golok Vrindavan, take shelter of the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna, and then it will have fructify, it will develop the fruits of, in the form of Krishna Prem, right? So that is the glory. This is being short in just short. That is the mission of our life, right? What we have to actually, what we have embarked upon. But here in this particular paragraph, now today we read this paragraph, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also cautioning Srila Rupa Goswami and all of us that while we do the hearing and chanting, we also have to do what? Fencing. Just like we see, municipality, they sometimes they plant some small plants, or even the builders, they do after building, and they do some fencing, right? So that it has to be protected. So as much as hearing and chanting, watering is important, sunlight is important, that much important is also to fence it from those animals and those, especially the mad elephant. So what is that fencing is called as in our language, what we are studying? What that fencing is called as? Watering is compared to what? Watering is compared to hearing and chanting. And fencing is compared to what? In our context, what we are reading these paragraphs? Avoiding the offenses, right? Like, correct. Avoiding the offenses. So, how many kinds of offenses are there? We all know that. We are just revising. So, how many kinds of offenses? 10 offenses. That is against what? Holy name. But in general, I am saying, offenses against the chanting of the holy name, that is one type of offense. What else types of offenses are there? These are the details of 10 offenses against the holy name. But what are the offenses in general, types of offenses? Against the devotees or Vaishnavas especially, right? We say that is called as Vaishnava Aparadh, we just read. And that Vaishnava Aparadh is compared to what? Mad elephant, right? What does a mad elephant does? If it enters a nice garden, so here we are trying to grow the Bhakti Lata Beej and make it grow and go up to the Golok of Vrindavan, right? That is our aspiration. But if the mad elephant enters, what it will do? It will actually destroy it. So there was a verse in this 19th chapter where the Rupa Goswami Shiksha is going. Tate mali yatna kari kare avaran aparada hastira yaiche na hai udgam. Mali means what? The sadhaka. Sadhaka, the gardener is compared to a devotee, is compared to a sadhaka. What is yatna kari? What is it trying to do? Kare avaran. This protection is as good as avaran or the fencing. Aparada hastira yaiche. Hastira means the elephant, mad elephant. That should not enter. So we are trying to protect it from by making a fencing. Na hai udgam. So that the mad elephant will not enter. The gardener must defend the creeper by fencing it all around so that the powerful elephant of offenses may not enter. So that is the precaution, that is the caution Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is giving to all of us, the sadhakas here, like that. So just like if you go to, even if you read the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, there also Srila Rupa Goswami in the beginning says, where he is giving description in the first 19 chapters about the sadhana bhakti, bhava bhakti and prema bhakti. So what is the essence of sadhana bhakti? Essence of sadhana bhakti, he says, smartavyam satatam Vishnu vismartavyam jaduchit sarve vidhi nishedhayor etayor eva kinkara. What is he saying? Always remember Krishna and never forget me, Krishna, right? So it is the same thing. Always remember and don't forget. It is the same thing. But it is being told in two ways. One is this positive way. It is called as vidhi. Vidhi means positive and nished means negative. So positive is always remember and negative is never forget. Right? Like that. And all the scriptures, if you study, all whatever rules and regulations are given, they are subservient to these two principles only. What are those? Remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. So even Srila Rupa Goswami in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu is giving 64 items of Vaidhi sadhana bhakti, right? So they are applicable even to Ragana sadhana bhakti also. So sadhana bhakti 64 items are there, and in those 64 items he divides into 10, 10 and remaining 44. So first 10 are positive, first 10 are vidhi, and the next 10, 11 to 20, they are negative, to be avoided. And there comes these offenses also. So first positive, like you have to take shelter of the Ado Guru Padashraya, Krishna Dikshadi Shikshanam, Vishrambena Guru Seva, Sadhu Vartamanu Vartanam. Like all these are first initially positive. Take the shelter of the spiritual master, take Diksha from him, take Shiksha from him, continuous basis, like that. Shadharma Prucha, and make inquiries from him, etc., etc., like that is saying. And what are negatives? Never blaspheme, never tolerate. What to speak of blaspheming? Never tolerate the blasphemy of the devotees or the Supreme Lord, like that. So he is also giving the do's and don'ts. Just like for any treatment, we go to a doctor. Doctor also says, no, your stomach is paining, so don't eat this, and eat like this, like that. Follow this and don't follow this. Like that is also saying. So similarly, vidhi and nishedh. So vidhi we have discussed already. Now we are talking about the nishedh or avoiding the aparadhs. So whatever it is possible, we'll try to discuss in the given time.
Portion. And
then there are the details. Some remaining things are being explained there. And among them, the last 5 are the most important. Sadhu Sangha Nama Kirtan Bhagavad Shravan, Mathura Va Shri Murti Re Shraddhaya Sevat. These 5, even if you do little out of these 5, they are the most potent, then we can do very quick progress or huge progress in our devotional service. Like that it describes. So there may be do's and don'ts also is mixed up in the remaining 44, but this 5 are again emphasized from 59 to 64, like that. So what is the understanding of, we were discussing about the types of aparadh. So let's discuss about what is aparadh. What is your understanding of aparadh? We're discussing here, huh? I'm not giving lecture here. We're trying to make it interactive. So what is your understanding of aparadh? What is called as aparadh? Not respect. Okay, not respect God. Okay, what else?
break rules and regulations.
Break rules and regulations.
Someone behave in a way that doesn't satisfy.
Okay, hurt someone. Yes, physically hurt, mentally hurt, by speech. Kaya manasa vacha. We are trying to hurt somebody, right? In mind, we are thinking something bad or ill about some devotee or about the Lord. These are the aparadhas, right? Aparadha, radha, aradhana means to worship, to please Lord Sri Krishna, and aparadh means to go away, that which displeases Krishna. So in our devotional service, whatever devotional activities we are doing, what is the goal of that devotional activity? Any service we do, any limb of bhakti we do, what should be the goal? To please Guru, Krishna and the devotees, right? Like that. So when we do aparadh, means we do such a thing which is, instead of pleasing Guru's devotees and Krishna, it is displeasing them. And that is how it is the most dangerous. Although our goal of life is to please Guru, Sadhu and Krishna, when we commit offense, when we commit anything, either mentally, physically or by words, it is actually displeasing to Krishna, Guru and the Sadhus or the Vaishnavas, like that. And that is very, very detrimental to our devotional service. That which will take us away from the devotional service. That which will take us away from the goal of our life of pleasing Guru and Krishna and Vaishnavas, like that. So that is aparadh. Apa means opposite, right? Aparadh. So what are the types of aparadh? Nama aparadh we know, that is one thing. Vaishnava aparadh also we said. What else? That is called as seva aparadh. It is again being stated, elaborate chapter number 8 in the Nectar of Devotion. Dhamma aparadh also, yes, is there. And the last one?
Seva.
Seva aparadh in the deities, serving the deities, that is called as seva aparadh. So fifth also it is said, not committing these offenses against any living entities, not displeasing or hurting them, not just the devotees. So even the normal living entities, we should not actually do that, especially at our stage, when we are new into the bhakti, how to deal with our relatives, our parents, etc. Even though they may not be devotees, but we should not try to hurt them or displease them or blaspheme them or do something like this. So these are the actually various types of aparadhs. And among them, which is the most dangerous? Vaishnava aparadh, very most dangerous. And if you read the Nectar of Instruction, the 6th verse, Srila Rupa Goswami is taking us slowly, our what is the 6 things which are actually favorable, 6 things which are unfavorable in our devotional service. Then in the 4th verse, the importance of associating, how to associate with the devotees, Dadati Prati Gunnati. The next he says, in order to do the 6 exchanges, we have to be able to discriminate between the different levels of devotees. One who is just chanting the holy name, one who has taken the Diksha and worshipping the Lord, and the one who is actually Mahabhagavat, Kanishtadhikari, Madhyamadhikari, and Uttamadhikari. We should be able to discriminate so that we can associate with them accordingly and take benefit and not blaspheme them or not commit aparadh. Because if you don't know who is a Uttamadhikari and if we treat them just like a normal devotee, we may be committing an Vaishnava aparadh. And then the next verse is basically says, Dushte Subhava Janiter Vapushasya Doshet Na Prakrutatva Ye Bhakta Janasya Parshet Ganga Vasauna Khalu Buddha Fena Pankir Brahma Dravatvam Apagachanti Niradharve. So committing a Vaishnava aparadh means actually looking at a devotee from material point of view, from externally judging a devotee. Oh, he is black. Oh, he is not so good looking. Oh, he is born in the Chandala family, his lower family, etc., etc. Oh, he is a very poor devotee. All these are what? Externally or materially judging a devotees, which are like what? Committing Vaishnava aparadh. So how should we see? Just like Brahma Dravatvam, the spiritual potency of Ganga does not diminishing by externally having some mud in it, some bubbles in it, or some foam in it. The potency of the Ganga never diminishes, and those who are knowers, those are devotees, they anyway take bath in this Ganga to get purified. Similarly, rather than having the material outlook towards a devotee, we should see how the devotee is engaged in the devotional service, how the devotee is pleasing his spiritual master and pleasing devotees like that. That's how we should see. Okay. So this is also again a very great topic in itself, but we will just come to our main topic now. We have some 10-12 minutes remaining. So among the Vaishnava aparadhs, then we talked about the aparadh against the holy name. So we daily recite in the temple the 10 offenses against the holy name, right? And this is being given by in the paragraph by Srila Prabhupada here, like that. So what is the first offense? Let's try to discuss in brief what it is, how we can avoid it, and rather than trying to avoid offense, what positive we can do on the positive side, right? So what is the first offense? To blaspheme the devotees. It is also Vaishnava aparadh, but a specific Vaishnava aparadh, those Vaishnavas who are engaged in preaching the glories of the holy name, right? This is the offense against the holy name, correct? Like that. So to blaspheme devotees who are trying to spread the holy name, like that. So it is said, just like the association of devotees is actually very, very important. Without association, sadhu sangha, we said out of the 5 items, the first item is sadhu sangha. Because in sadhu sangha only all other items can take place, right? Sadhu sangha, Nam Kirtan, Bhagavad Shravan, Mathura Vas, Sri Murti, all those can be taken place in the association of the devotees. So association of the devotees is considered as the double-edged sword. Means that sword is actually very sharp from both the ends. On the one side, we can take advantage of the association and progress in our devotional service, and on the other side, if we are not very careful, if we commit Vaishnava aparadh, then the same association can actually harm the very progress of our devotional service. So therefore we have to be very, very careful. And especially this blaspheming the devotees. Although we may not commit offense like the example is given of the Srila Haridas Thakur. Gopal Chakravarti, it is said, when Srila Haridas Thakur was talking about the glories of the holy name, even on the Namabha stage, it can eradicate all the sins, right? So in this Gopal Chakravarti, actually he got very angry and he was started blaspheming Srila Haridas Thakur, and he said it actually if that is not true, your nose will just fail off, like that. And actually what happened, Gopal Chakravarti's nose himself actually fell off. So Srila Haridas Thakur was telling the glories of the holy name, that what to speak of eradicating the sins. The holy name is not to be chanted to eradicate the sins. That is the byproduct. Holy name is so powerful that it can give us the Krishna Prem directly, like that he was telling. Or Madhavendra Puri had these two disciples, and through these two disciples, Madhavendra Puri is teaching the entire world. Who are the two disciples? Ishwar Puri and Ramachandra Puri. Ishwar Puri is known for very submissive, humbly, Vapu, Vani Seva he is doing to Madhavendra Puri, especially in his last days, cleaning all his body, etc. And whereas Ramachandra Puri is trying to teach his spiritual master, why you're talking about, crying for Krishna, meditate on the Brahmajyoti, like that. And Madhavendra Puri was actually very, very displeased. And we know how, because of this offensive mentality, Ramachandra Puri goes further and he commits many, many offenses against many, many devotees, because that becomes his nature. So even Srila Prabhupada, we see, Srila Prabhupada he writes many of the purports in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Although he's trying to preach the holy name and spread the holy name, many of his god brothers, many of the so-called Smarta Brahmanas, Hindus in India, they were trying to blaspheme him by saying, why he has to, sannyasi should never cross ocean, he should not, engage in the marriages, etc. He should not actually make yavanas and mlechas, he should not give them Brahman Diksha, etc., right? All these things. This way they were actually, this is American Goswami, this is only the birthright of the, caste Goswamis, etc., like that. So this way they were trying to blaspheme. So although we may not be at that level, we may not be doing that level blasphemy, but even in our small sangha, in whatever day-to-day devotees we are associating with them, there is a tendency in us, to put down devotees because of our envy or whatever, and speak ill about them, right? So this is at our level, this we should try to avoid. So rather than trying to always avoid and being aware of the negative, try to overcome that by doing positive things. So what we can do positively, instead of trying to avoid this negative, while trying to avoid this negative, what positive we can do? We can glorify devotees, we can appreciate, we can see how the devotees performing meticulously their devotional service, even though we are not appreciation is not considered to be a lip service, but at least in the heart, we may not know a devotee, but at least we can say, this devotee is coming every day for Mangalarti. This devotee is very nicely every day, putting tulsi there. He's nicely cleaning the things there. He's nicely putting chatti. It may not be a very big thing, but we can always appreciate. Just like Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Dukhi was nowhere in the forefront, right? She was quite in the background. But he asked, who is she? She's arranging the water. So even if nobody notices, who will notice? Lord Sri Krishna will notice, right? Definitely, for sure, like that. So we should also notice, and we can glorify the devotees. That should become our nature. Always see a positive in a devotee, like that. So that we can do. What is the next offense? I don't think so we will be able to cover all the 10, but whatever we will be able to cover. Yes. So what is the next one? So we are very clear about that, right? Especially when we come to Krishna consciousness. Srila Prabhupada had these two problems in India especially. Paschatya Desha Tarine, that is Nirvishesh Shunyavadi, right? But even in India he faced two things, major issues with the Indians. One is demigod worship. Everybody is engaged in demigod worship. And second is the Mayavad, correct? So therefore, how we can overcome this? By studying the scriptures very deeply. Whatever the Acharya Srila Prabhupada has given, we should study it very carefully. We will understand very nicely the difference between the demigods and the Lord Sri Krishna. Especially if you read the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, text number 20 to 23, that what is that verse? Alpa Medasam. Jayanti 7.20, 21, 23, and 9.20 to 25 also, if you study, that section also, Lord Sri Krishna himself gives us the difference between the demigod worship, result of demigod worship, and the result of Krishna's worship. What is that verse? 9.25. That is 7. Antavantu phalam tesham Tad bhavati alpa medasam. Devan deva yojayanti yanti madhyajino apima. And also 9.25 is yanti devarta devan pitrun yanti pitrurta bhutani yanti bhutencho yanti madhyajino apima. So it's very, very clear differentiation is given. The first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, Swarat, tene brahma hridaya adikave muyanti yat surya Janmadiyasya Tanvaya Pitratasya Artheshu Abhidnya Swarat. Abhidnya and Swarat. Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport, these two words, Abhidnya and Swarat, they differentiate Lord Sri Krishna, the absolute truth, from all other living entities. Abhidnya means he directly or indirectly is aware of everything which is going on, including what thought process, what intentions we have. And Swarat means is fully independent, whereas the demigods are, they're not independent. So what is the position of the demigods? How they are the servants of Lord Sri Krishna only, how they are empowered by Lord Sri Krishna only, and how they are managing the material affairs, material universe, right? Like that, their post and position is there, and they are also the different limbs of the Supreme Lord only, right? If you consider the Vishwaroop, they are the different limbs, right? So we have to understand that they are not independent. Their worship will not grant us the Janma Mrityu Jaravadi, the release from this. And rather than going to them, we can directly go to Krishna. And what is the root of the tree, that we have to study and understand very carefully by studying the scriptures. Then we will never able to not only not take to their worship, but we will also not consider them equal or independent. Not considering equal is understandable, but not independent also. That is also very, very important, because many times Srila Prabhupada explains in the Bhagavatam purport that in India, they could talk about this Panchopasana. Panchopasana means worship of the five things. Who are they? Lord Shiva is, wife Parvati or Durga, then his son Ganesha, Suryadeva and Vishnu. They think, oh, you worship anybody, it is all same. Worshipping Vishnu, especially the Mayavadis, they talk about this Panchopasana. Whether worshipping Vishnu or worshipping all these four, it is on the same level. If you consider like that, we are considered an Pashandi or an offender of the holy name. They are not actually the same. Okay. And the last one which we can discuss now in 2 minutes is the third offense is to disobey the orders of the spiritual master. What is the offense there? In the context we are discussing the offenses against the holy name. Preaching service. Okay. Okay, fine. What else?
Who has given you the holy name?
Yes. So we are chanting, even if you are not initiated, we are chanting on the instruction of Srila Prabhupada, right? And if you are initiated, we are taken a vow, and on the instructions of spiritual master, now we are chanting the holy name, not just on our own things, like that. So, like I said, in the NOD, all the doors to the 64 items, they open by taking Adho Guru Padashray, by taking the shelter of the Guru, and then he gives initiation, then he gives us Shiksha, he talks about the holy name, he preaches us like that, right? So to not follow the instruction of the spiritual master means actually we are neglecting the representative of the Lord. It is said in the 11th canto of the Bhagavatam that Lord Sri Krishna is telling to Uddhava, Acharya mam vijaniyam na avamanyet karachit na marta buddhya asuyeta Sarvadeva Maya Guru. He's saying what? Acharya Mam Vijaniyam. Acharya or the spiritual master is actually me. Don't he consider himself as me only. He's representing me, like that. So now never actually offend, never actually disobey the orders of the spiritual master. This is being told. Never envy a spiritual master, like that. Envying spiritual master means envying directly the Supreme Lord only, right? Why we have come to this material world? Because of this Ichha Dvesha Samuttena Dando Mohena Bharata. So that is the first thing. So we have to be very, very careful. And every day in the Guru Ashtakam we recite what? Yasya Prasadat Guru Krishna Prasade Pai. Right? By the mercy of Guru we get Krishna, and by Krishna's mercy we get Guru. So only by pleasing spiritual master, by following, how we can please? Maybe sometimes we are working in an office, right? And sometimes we try to please our boss by doing some chapluski, etc., like that. So can we please spiritual master like that? By doing something superficially. We can please spiritual master only by following his instructions. Yasya deve para bhakti yatha guru tatha guru Yatha Deve Tatha Guru, yes, Tasyaiti Katitahi Artha Prakashante Mahatmana. All the imports of this Vedic literature, they are being revealed in the heart of the sadhaka, who is actually considering or worshipping, having faith, implicit faith, as much as in the Lord, in the spiritual master. Serving the spiritual master, having faith in the spiritual master means what? Obeying his instructions, like that. In the 4.34, what is the verse? Bhagavad Gita 4.34. Very famous verse. No? Tadvidhi pranipadena pariprashnana sevaya updekshantite jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshana. So how to obtain this knowledge, transcendent knowledge? Krishna is giving us the key. Pranipat, pariprashna and sevaya. So in that purport, Srila Prabhupada writes a sentence that satisfaction of the self-realized spiritual master is the secret of success in spiritual life. What is that? Repeat after me. Satisfaction of the self-realized spiritual master is the secret of success in spiritual life. So we are all, interested in gaining some secrets, right? Hearing some secret things. So this is an open secret Srila Prabhupada is giving us. So not obeying spiritual master means, so actually disrespect him, to envy him, and actually we are, who's trying to spread the holy name, we are actually disobeying him. And then what positive thing we can do instead of avoiding this negatively? Also what positive we can do? Sir, means first we should know what is the mood and mission of our spiritual master. What is the mood and mission of Srila Prabhupada? At the time of establishing ISKCON, he given us 7 purposes of ISKCON, right? So we have to see where we are aligning, what we are trying to fulfill in our own way. So we have to understand their mood, mission, their instructions, note down them, and then try to carefully follow them. Okay, so I think our time is up. We'll stop here and see if there are any comments or questions based on whatever little we are able to discuss. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So any comments or any questions? Anything you want to ask? Otherwise we'll stop.
Krishna Prabhu, thank you for the class. Sometimes it becomes very difficult to follow the instructions because we have our personal agenda, or we have something like to do or something. So at that time it becomes very difficult to follow the instructions. It's not like we don't want to follow, but then how do we do that?
Yeah, so therefore bhakti is to be practiced always under the guidance. We have seen that devotees, right? Whenever you have some problem, some practical difficulty, it is not that as soon as we come to Krishna consciousness we are able to follow everything. We are struggling, just like the child is trying to walk, he will fall down, again get up, walk. Similarly, if child is being guided, so if you are being guided by the senior devotees who have gone through our stage already and their experience, and they know theoretically, practically also, they will try to give us some practical solutions for our struggles. And they say, okay, if you are not able to practice at this level, then you at least try to do this, try to practice at this level. Like that they will give us the instructions. So therefore we can always practice bhakti under the guidance. And there's one nice thing His Holiness Giriraj Swami Maharaj told once. I think it is written in the end of the Chaitanya Charitamrita, that once Srila Prabhupada told him, one can delay the following the instructions, but we should never be, I'm not able to remember the exact words, but we should never be having some grudges against the instructions of this scripture. Some instructions we may not be able to follow. It may take some time to come up to that standard, but we should never have grace. I can't subutna padta hai 4 o'clock till, or we have to do. Some of you are doing jobs also. Some of you are working outside, like that. So we should not have grudges against that. And then we have to always take the guidance. These two things we can. Hare Krishna.
So when we are talking about spiritual master, so we have the structure of a counselor. So the immediate counselor knows in and out of us everything, but maybe spiritual master doesn't. So what if some instruction comes from spiritual master and the same counselor saying some different kind of instruction?
Okay. So if there is a contradiction, it's very difficult. I mean, why this should happen. This should not happen in the first case, because the counselors or senior devotees, they're not telling us anything on their own. They're telling us in order to serve the spiritual master and the guru only, Shiksha Guru, Diksha Guru. So this should not generally happen, but it may happen also because of a specific circumstances, the where place we are living, time, place, circumstances, etc. Although the spiritual master has one particular instruction, but in a particular given circumstances, what is the best to follow that instruction, there may be some discrepancy. So we can, first thing is to clarify with that counselor, we have heard so and so thing from our spiritual master, or in his lecture, or in his books, or in his talks, but now you are saying this thing. So can you just please clarify? I'm bewildered. So we can always ask questions in the mood of understanding rather than challenging, which Arjuna is also showing us example, right? So when he says, I first instructed sun god, he did not say, why you are faking Krishna. He's saying, Katam etat vijaniya. How can I understand? You instructed sun god in the beginning. So similarly, you can go and clarify. How can I understand? Oh, he's saying one thing, but you are saying these things. So rather than our mind tries to do whatever is convenient to us, we try to take to that. Rather than doing that, we have to harmonize. Oh, he's saying this thing, you are saying these things. How we can understand and follow one thing like that. If still it is not being clarified, we can go to some other counselor, some other senior devotee to whom we have faith, and we can try to clarify with them like this.
So if you say among both, the counselor is one, we have a relation, we can please him much more, but spiritual master is rarely visible, and so is it good to please our counselor?
It is, that should be our goal only, right? See, we are choosing counselors. You have a choice of 1, 2, 3, and you have a choice to change the counselor also. That is also there, right? So whenever we choose a counselor, what to speak of counselor, even the guru, we can do all the taste, everything. Even we can taste the guru, from whom, taste in the sense, from whom I'm getting most inspired in my spiritual life, and we can surrender to him. Similarly, we can choose a counselor. If something, maybe depending on type of services, or he's also doing that type of service which I'm also aspiring, etc., like that. So we can choose a counselor. Once we choose a counselor, once we have been assigned a counselor, we should follow with all sincerity and seriousness and try to please them, because he's representing the maybe temple president or the senior devotees and ultimately spiritual master and Srila Prabhupada and Sri Krishna only, right? Like that. So that should be our goal, to please only. How do we know how we are pleasing Krishna? Krishna will not tell us, Srila Prabhupada will not tell us, spiritual master will not tell us directly, but the devotees who are surrounding us, those who are senior devotees, those who are counselors, by pleasing them only we are pleasing ultimately Prabhupada and Krishna only, right? Spiritual master, like that. So that should be our goal. That was your question?
Yeah.
Please or not please? Yes, that should be. And of course, sometimes, because it may happen, we are also neophyte and our counselor may be also struggling in his own life also. If that is the case, we can always clarify with somebody else, and if it is for some whatever reasons, it is not, changing counsel is like changing guru. Once you take a Diksha Guru, you cannot change him as long as he is there in the healthy condition, right? But if that is not the case, if the Guru falls, then you can also change the Guru. But generally, if he is in a healthy condition, properly situated in his Krishna consciousness, we don't change a Diksha Guru, correct? So similarly, if the counselor for whatever reasons, if you are not going along well or some issues are there, we can discuss and you can change without any malice or without any fighting or backbiting, etc. We can openly discuss and change. Right? That facility is given in ISKCON, right? But as far as possible, we should try to stick to their instructions, understand, discuss them openly. This happens because of lack of communication, in my understanding. Lack of communication. Oh, he's thinking like this, going through the mind games, this, that. So it's better to clarify things and maintain a proper communication, healthy communication, and then go along and try to do this. We'll stop. Thank you very much. So, Grantaraj, teachings of Lord Chaitanya ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Bhakta ki jai.